1%. That's about 9,000 of the 16,000 inmates we have in Uganda Prison Service.
Crimes affecting children are many and have different faces. This is true of Uganda.
What I would say for 2007, sexual violence was top. We had less of murders, less of child trafficking, less. But 2008, though the sexual offenses have not gone down, these other crimes have topped the table, especially crimes in relation to ritual murders.
The condition in Ethiopia is not different either.
In 2007 to 2008, 92 cases of sexual abuse were sent to our newspaper, and 79 of them were reported. 57 of the reported cases were of children under 18.
Reports concerning sexual abuse were put out on various newspapers. She is Meseret Choni. Her parents were divorced. She used to live with her mother until her aunt came and took her to Addis Ababa. The aunt promised to find her a job, but Meseret became her maid.
One day, when they left town, I also left home late in the night and reached Addis Ababa.
She was then forced to associate with street children who live in what they call the underground, probably a sewage system of the city.
I entered the place. One girl was being raped by 20 or 30 people. Then I fell unconscious. Even if I shout loud or scream, the police will not hear it. No one will hear me.
She is Haimanot and she is from Harer, a city in eastern Ethiopia.
I never had a chance to experience parental love. My stepfather always wanted to have sex with me, and my stepmother never understood that. My stepfather used to threaten me. There were times that he almost did it, but somehow I escaped. I went out to the street just to run away from him. The underground is a place where your voice is silenced, and it was my first time to go in there. They started raping me. When one rapes, the other one was putting on his condom. First, my friend had sex with me. It was then that I lost my virginity. Many others stood online to rape me. I guess there were about 10 of them. One of them was light-skinned and reported that he was the father of my daughter. After I was raped, I could not walk around and could not eat. I then went to a hospital. I gave birth on the street just by a rock. I then found a wheelbarrow to carry the baby, still in its placenta. I had to take her to the nearest hospital to cut the umbilical cord.
In East Africa, efforts have been made to stem abuse, but they do not match the magnitude of the problem.
In a study that we carried out in a selected districts in 2004, that was Mukono, Wakiso, and Kampala, we interviewed about 175 around about there, and 50% of those children had indicated that they had been sexually abused in one way or another.
Children in Kenya are faced with similar predicaments like those in the region.
Looking at the statistics up to last year, 2008, we've seen a total of 12,000 survivors. We're talking of 45% are children, 49% are women, and 6% are men. Yes, we have, out of the 45, giving it now 100% to talk about children, we have 78 coming as sexual assault cases. And looking at the Sexual Offences Act, they are defined as defilement cases.
Tourism is crucial for development. it contributes significantly to the economies of Kenya and Tanzania.
The number of children, I could go to the survey that was done by UNICEF in 2005, 2006, and it indicated that along the Kenyan coast, there were roughly 15,000 children who were engaged in sexual exploitation. But again, it was talking about in tourism.
Family is the nucleus, and when trouble hits, the first victims are children.
We have a good number of kids that we have here, for instance. Out of 60, I think about 55% are coming from separated parents. The mother goes, either gets married to another man, and this man gets married to another woman, and the child or children remain in between. So we have some who are actually coming from single parents. Either the father died or the mother died, and this single parent fails to take care of their own children.
Children in Uganda are no better than their peers in the other countries of the region.
Violence against children comprises 34.1% sexual against children. But it's very important to know the magnitude when we talk of perpetrators. 92% are people that are known to the children. We have found a very strong linkage between violence and sexual violence as that with prevalence and escalation of HIV and AIDS, giving it a woman face and a child face.
Incest is one of the many forms of sexual vices. Maureen has gone through it.
When my mother left after a few months, my dad started abusing me physically but also sexually. Because he had lost his job and didn't have money, he would take me with him every evening to his drinking point, and he would ask people, his friends generally, the people that he used to drink with, they would buy him booze, and as a way of paying, he sent me to go with them, and they would take me. I remember it was there was a small room, small dark room behind the bar somewhere, that I would go with them, and they would abuse me sexually, rape me. That wasn't that bad, but a few months later, he would take me and do the same, but eventually when we came back home, he then started using me as well. Would come back, then he would ask me to go to his room, to his bed, and would sleep together. So he kept doing that until I think I was 10. Well, I felt bad. I really felt bad. I can't say I don't know what. I felt bad, but I didn't know what to do, because the only person that I had was him, and it was him who took me there, and then he told me he would not, that I should not tell anyone. He had a small axe that he used to sharpen almost every day, and made sure that I would see him sharpening it. And he used to threaten me and tell me if I ever told anyone, he would chop off my head. I think when I was 10, I ran away this time, and I was determined not to go back.
Quite obviously, child sexual abuse and child commercial sex exploitation are serious vices in our communities that are often ignored and the victims left in neglect.
Whenever we got on stage, there were always rich men sitting besides the manager, and he would call for support or advertise the group and call for more children to join. He would also arrange for these men to sleep and have sex with us, after paying him some money, which he would give us a little bit of. In order to avoid unwanted pregnancy, he took us to a certain witch doctor in Luero, and we were made barren. Even now, I can't conceive.
How should entertainment places where heinous sexual abuse and crime take place be handled? Who is at fault?
Children should not be seen in bars. They should not even be seen in lodges. They should not go for those karaoke performances. That's what we should do. And the law is very clear here.
Take, for example, there was a recent karaoke in Endeavour. Young girls were arrested who were performing in the act, but the owner of the bar and the band were not arrested. So, why do you go to the victims? These young girls are a source of income. If you do it in the correct way, I would go in for having very strong regulations to guide how karaoke is conducted, and finally to punish those who go beyond the normal procedure.
Cases of sodomy against young boys are on the increase.
There's another problem that we have to be concerned about. This problem is taking place in Addis Ababa, Dire Dawa, and Nazareth. Defiling boys has become prevalent. About a month and a half ago, a man holding the hands of his son came to our office. The man sat, and when I told the boy to sit down, he could not do it. The boy is a third grader, and he told me that he was
Show me the way.